Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stacey Skryzak.
And I'm Dawn Sterling. We're continuing our coverage into the shooting death of Sonya Massey tonight.
Sonya was shot by a Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy on July 6th. She had called deputies to her house over concerns of a prowler. Body camera footage shows Deputy Sean Grayson shooting Sonya after an argument over a pot of boiling water. Now, Sean Grayson's thoughts behind shooting Sonya Massey have been revealed for the first time after Sangamon County released the deputy's personal police report that he wrote after the shooting.
News Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us live in the studio now after reading that report. Carson, what does it say?
This is one of the first times that we are hearing about what happened that night on Hoover Avenue from then Deputy Sean Grayson. In his police report, Grayson writes that he believed that Massey was going to kill him with a hot pot of water. Grayson wrote that Massey asked him to come inside. The deputy was inside for several minutes as he asked her for identification. During this conversation, Grayson noticed a hot pot of water on the stove and he told Massey to turn it off. Massey walked over to the kitchen, grabbed the pot and went towards the sink and turned on hot water. Grayson stated that he drew his weapon on Massey after she said she rebuked him in the name of Jesus. Grayson writes in his report he believed that Massey was going to kill him. With a gun pointed at her face, Massey ducked behind the cabinet and Grayson got closer to see if she had a weapon. He wrote that as he got closer, Sonya stood up and threw the hot pot of water at him. Grayson reported shooting at Massey and her falling to the floor. Other official reports say that Grayson fired 3 shots, hitting Massey in the face once. After the investigation, the Illinois State Police said that Grayson was not justified for using his gun and fatally shooting Sonya Massey. He compared the scenario to an officer intentionally and unnecessarily putting himself in front of a moving vehicle and justifying the use of force because he was feared of being struck. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Wow, thank you, Carson. Grayson was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, and he could face up to life in prison.
Sangamon County State's Attorney John Millhiser says he will be the lead prosecutor against Sean Grayson. The county says there isn't a conflict of interest of Millhiser prosecuting a former Sangamon County deputy. Millhiser added that he plans to hold the criminal trial in Sangamon County. However, the defense can still request that the trial be moved if they feel Grayson cannot get a fair trial in Sangamon County. Any request for a change of venue would have to be approved by a judge. And coming up later tonight, Sangamon County Board member Sam Campbell is calling for a referendum for Sheriff Jack Campbell to be added to the November ballot. We're going to have that full story coming up on News Channel 20 at 6.
Another Sangamon County Board member calling for the sheriff's resignation. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm Dawn Sterling.
And I'm Stacey Skryzak. It's been nearly a month since the shooting death of Sonya Massey. A Sangamon County deputy killed her inside her home on July 6th. That deputy, Sean Grayson, now faces charges.
And tonight, that board member says the sheriff needs to go for hiring Sean Grayson, and voters should have a say.
News Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us in studio with the latest. Carson?
Sangamon County Board member Sam Campbell wants voters to decide if Sheriff Jack Campbell should step down. He says he will ask the board to approve a resolution to add the question to the November ballot. He says that he would vote for Campbell to resign for hiring Sean Grayson with a record of 2 DUIs, serious misconduct from the military, and allegations of wrongdoing while employed at Logan County.
I would, but it's really not important how I would vote. What's important is how the majority of the voters of Sangamon County vote on this. Sheriff Campbell isn't answerable to me personally. He's answerable to the whole electorate of Sangamon County.
If this resolution makes the ballot and a majority of the voters say that Campbell should resign, the sheriff would not be forced to resign. Sheriff Campbell told me on Thursday he will not be leaving his position. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thank you, Carson. County Board member Tony Del Giorno and Mark Ayers are co-sponsors of that resolution. The Sangamon County Board meeting is next Tuesday. Well, Sonya Massey's family has also made calls for Sheriff Campbell to step down from his position, and parts of the community have echoed that sentiment as well, with continuous calls to make changes to the Sheriff's Department, hiring practices, as well as repeating those calls for his resignation. Since Massey's death, the community has come together in support of the Massey family in protests, rallies, healing talks, and this weekend, a motorcycle ride.
News Channel 20 has received the report Grayson himself wrote the night of the shooting. In his police report, Grayson writes he believed Massey was going to kill him with the pot of hot water. Grayson wrote that Massey asked him to come inside. The deputy was inside for several minutes as he asked for her identification. Grayson stated he drew his weapon on Massey after she said she rebuked him in the name of Jesus. The full report is up on our website. And Sangamon County State's Attorney John Millhiser says he will be the lead prosecutor against Sean Grayson. The county says there is not a conflict of interest of Millhiser prosecuting a former Sangamon County deputy. Millhiser added that he plans to hold the criminal trial in Sangamon County. However, the defense can still request the trial be moved if they feel Grayson cannot have a fair trial in Sangamon County. Any request for a change of venue would have to be approved by a judge. Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.